So, good afternoon, everybody. You know, at least a few times a week, someone would come into the store, and when they do, they'll ask me about starting a business. You know, they see me as a business owner, they see that I've been in business for a while now, and that I've had other different businesses, and so they often ask me about the fact of how to start a business, or the fact they want to start a business. And one of the things that I always ask them is, who are you? Who are you? I'm asking you that question as well right now. Who are you? You know, self-awareness is one of the things lacking in society that helps a person to be able to figure out what their path is. You see, when you come in here and you want to ask about starting a business, my question is, are you an entrepreneur? Invariably, sometimes people will answer and say that I want to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is not something that you can want to be, because if you're wanting to be it, then you will never get to it. You either are an entrepreneur or you're not. It doesn't necessarily mean you already have a business in place. It doesn't necessarily mean you have all the habits or the traits, and I'm certainly not saying that you have to be born an entrepreneur, because I don't believe in that either. Entrepreneurs are made, but you have to first decide that that's what you are before all the habits and traits and actions follow suit. You see, self-awareness is the greatest thing that could help you to determine what you should be doing in life and relationships, as far as anything. Because if you're unaware of who you are, the person that you are, then how can you ever become great? How can you ever become the thing that you imagine that you want to be, or live the life that you imagine you want to live, if you don't first take inventory of who you are? You see, a long time ago, I was big time procrastinator. I mean, I would procrastinate on any and everything. And for years and years, maybe decades, I continued to say that I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to get better at this. I'm not going to be a procrastinator. I know I'm a procrastinator, but I'm not going to be one. And I kept saying that to myself. But the problem is that I was too busy being a procrastinator and trying to fight against it, instead of deciding that I'm not a procrastinator anymore. And the moment I decided that I'm not a procrastinator anymore, things started changing, and I started getting better at it. But here's the key to it. I had to first admit that I was a procrastinator. I thought that if I told myself that I wasn't a procrastinator for enough times, that I would start responding and my actions would be that. But first, in self-awareness, I had to say to myself, I am a procrastinator. And the moment I said that, and then I decided at that moment, I am a procrastinator, but I'm not going to be a procrastinator any longer. I am no longer a procrastinator. It took 2 minutes. But the moment I made that part of my energy, part of my spirit, part of my thoughts, part of everything that is my being, it started changing. And it's a continuous change. But first I had to take self-inventory and become aware and admit what I am. And then decide, is it something that I want to change? You see, one thing about me is that I would tell you that I'm not a good employee. I'm not. But it's not something that I ever want to change. I am an entrepreneur. I will always be an entrepreneur. The problem when I become an employee, I look at jobs as if I'm the owner and how I can make it better and more profitable. But oftentimes that may butt heads with management or whomever is the owner of the company. So I wind up either leaving to go start my own thing, or we just rub together too much. But the thing about it is, I have to be an entrepreneur. You see, I used to work for this guy, and I became his sales manager for a computer training company. He was very brash. He would want to fire people every day. He was very rude and uptight, and I just didn't agree that this is how you should run a sales team, nor even the school itself. So we would butt heads, because I thought that it could run better with a different type of management style. So he decided that he was going to go on this trip with his family. He went on a trip. He went to Alaska, and they went on a cruise, and did all these other things. And when he left, I told him, I said, Mike, here's the deal. When you leave, I don't want you to call. I don't want you to call anybody here. You can call your general manager, but don't call anybody on the sales team. Don't call me. And if I have not made more money next month than we have made in the previous 4 months, then you can fire me. Matter of fact, you won't even have to fire me. I'll just walk away. So he goes off on his trip. He's enjoying himself. He called me the first day, and I told him, I said, Mike, do not call me. I said, you calling me, you're breaking the deal. Now, can we stick to the deal? So he said, okay, I won't call you anymore. But if you, I said, don't want to hear it. If I can't do it, I'll fire myself. Now, the previous month, the store had made $300,000 that month, all right, the school. So I knew I had to at least break that. So with my own style of management, the way I believe that the store, the school should have been ran as far as sales is concerned, I implemented that quick, fast, and hurry. And at the end of the month, through my method, we made $500,000 that month. He was impressed and he left me alone. Now he can go and be an entrepreneur where he has people in a place to run a system that he created so that he can just enjoy his life, enjoy his family. That worked for a while for him, but that just wasn't his personality. So, but the moral to it is, I knew that I had to be an entrepreneur, that I had to run things that way. Me being just an employee doesn't work, even in my own company. Even in your own company, there's the saying that you can spend too much time working on your business. I mean, you have to spend more time working on your business than working in your business. And the problem that I've had at times is that I get caught up working in my business and not working on it. I made myself an employee within my own company, which has been and can be detrimental to my company because I have to maintain the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, right? And I have to operate like that. You see, you have to take self-inventory of who you are and decide that this is who I am, so this must be the pathway that I have to follow. All right? If you in a relationship are an affectionate person, then you must continuously be an affectionate person. You can't try to be something you're not. But if it's something within you that you want to change, then you have to say, okay, I'm not an affectionate person, but I'm going to be, I want to be. And the moment you decide I am now an affectionate person, your body, your mind, the universe, everything, God will start to move things in such a way to give you that opportunity to be more affectionate. And that's how it works. But you first must become self-aware of that. You know, too many people are operating outside of their lane, outside of the area that they should be in. Too many people are trying to be entrepreneurs, but they're really employees. And too many people are employees, but they should be an entrepreneur. But they're too afraid to take the risk. Too many people are in relationships that they know are not healthy for them, but they're too scared to move on to a new relationship. Too many people are not taking their health into consideration to the level that they should because they don't want to give things up. They're not self-aware. And I hate to put it this way. There are too many people who are fat, unhealthy, who think that they are sexy and fine. And yes, it's good to think you are sexy and fine, but you are not healthy. And you're not as sexy nor fine as you could be. But you have created the illusion that you are more so than you really are. I know that people don't want to hear that, but it's just a true thing. We create lies and illusion of a reality that is not true. We do it all the time. We think of ourselves in greater heights than we really are. Here's the thing about me. Like I said, I'm not a great employee. I'm not. I'm a good entrepreneur, which means I'm a great manager. Also, I'm really good at giving advice and guiding people and coaching people. I can coach people into success, levels of success that go far beyond what I can do for myself. But am I operating in that way? I realized this last year that I wasn't operating that way. So then I began this journey to start operating that way, and I've taken on some people as mentees, and I've taken on some people as clients, and I've been coaching people into opening businesses, and I've coached people into opening business, and I've coached people into their relationships. So I know that's where I thrive. That's my strength. Some of these other areas that are not my strength, I've left alone. And the more I develop in this realm of entrepreneurship and coaching, I will leave those other areas to themselves or hire people who can take care of them for me. That's when you become self-aware. You start to realize that you are not made to do everything, but that you should focus on the things that you are good at, or focus on the things that you want to be good at, and then become great at it. So take inventory of yourself. Empty your cup. Be willing to give up everything to gain everything, because my greatness and your greatness is non-negotiable.